Hey guys, Tyler here from SSG. I want to tell you a story from a while ago, and I don't remember the source of where I first heard it, so I'm not going to quote where it's from, so I apologize for that. The story was, there was a guy on stage. He was Tony Robbins of sort. I don't know if it was Tony Robbins, but that's besides the point. He's on stage and he's talking to a lady who's going through an experience that was very traumatizing for her. As she got to the point in the story, because he said start from the beginning, and when he got to the point in the story where it was very traumatizing, he took his glass of water and he threw it in her face. Surprised, she stood up and shook it off and, what happened here kind of thing, but not sure what to do because she's in front of a live audience and a lot of people there, and here's this, figure, this superstar that's in front of her who she obviously values, or she wouldn't be on the stage with him. And he says, I apologize for that, please sit down, consoles her, sits down. She's like, oh, okay, not sure exactly what happened. Very startling. So then he says, please start from the beginning. Okay, she says. So she continues this story and again gets to the point that's very traumatizing for her, starts tearing up. You can tell the emotions are coming. And again, he throws his glass of water, which had clearly been refilled in that time, in her face. She's now soaking wet. She jumps up. She's like, what are you doing? She's getting more frustrated at this point, but also laughing because she's embarrassed, not entirely sure how to process what is happening. And he says, I am so sorry, but trust me, this is part of the process. You're doing just great. I apologize. I won't do it again. Okay. So she sits down, again, soaking wet this time, 2 full glasses of water in the face. So she gets to the story, right? She starts from the beginning. She gets to the point of that story where she was going to start getting emotional. This time she gets up before he has a chance to throw water in her face again. She gets up and backs up, and he says, what are you doing? She says, I don't want you to throw water in my face again, because the last 2 times when I got to this part in the story, you threw water in my face. Oh, okay. Well, please continue your story if you're more comfortable over there. So she does, the whole time slightly hesitant, because first 2 times she got to this point of the story, she got water thrown in her face. So she finishes the story, right? Finishes this whole traumatic event that occurred in her life. And at the end, he says, how was that? How was that experience, reliving that? And she thought for a moment, she says, you know what? That was the first time I've told that story and didn't cry. Right? Metaphorical water in the face. Well, in this place, a literal water in the face. So I was listening to this story and I got to work, and I was working at a place that sold tools. It was a retail store, and this guy comes in and he was irate. He was angry. He was frustrated, and irrationally so. Right? There was something wrong with the tool that he bought, and I was happily going to swap it out for him. But he was angry about something. And I'm like, this situation didn't require this level of angriness. So clearly I knew there was something going on behind the scenes, right? He was projecting onto the situation in front of him. And I probably wouldn't have been so brave if there wasn't a counter between me and this gentleman, because he was a big gentleman. And I wanted to thinking of this story that I had just heard, what would be a metaphorical water, a glass of water that I could throw in his face to say, hey, like, come here now, right now, that traumatic event is not happening. Right here, right now, that stress that caused that reaction isn't happening. So, what I thought to do, this is the only thing that came to mind, I said, do you need a hug? And the reaction was beautiful. It was as if I threw a glass of water in his face without the aggression that would probably come if I went with that approach. It was like I slapped him across the face, his whole demeanor changed, and he's just like, it was amazing. And he says, I'm being a beep, aren't I? And I'm like, yeah, you kind of are. I'll happily swap out the product for you, but it feels like there's other things that are going on. And he broke down. It was amazing. He didn't cry, but you could tell like he was now vulnerable. And he says, yeah, well, this is what's going on in my life. And he overshared, right? The same way that he was overly angry, he was now overly sharing with things I didn't need to know about his life. But it was amazing to watch him change in that situation. Is that going to happen in all these types of situations? No. Have I ever had a situation like that when I'm being able to use that same technique? No. But in that situation, it was very cool to watch that change in the demeanor in that situation and just waking up. Because right here, right now, there's no stress, right? Yesterday was yesterday, tomorrow is tomorrow, today is right now, that's it, right? And being in the present is so powerful. There's so many people that talk about the power of being present, and that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted them to be present. Right now, yeah, you got a tool that doesn't work and we need to swap it out. No problem, right? There's no reason for aggression, for the anger, all of that. So I thought that was really cool. Wanted to share that story with you. I know it's a little bit longer video than I usually produce, but I thought it was a great story and wanted to share that with you guys today. All right, have a great day. Take care.